The first step in getting to know your data is to discover the different data type it contains. Panda is a widely used Python library. It is used in multiple stages of data analytics. In this video, let's see some of the functions used in exploring data. My name is Abdulkadir Salami. Let's see how it's done. Welcome to your video tutorial on data analysis. Today, we are going to dive into Pandas. So we will be talking about exploring data in Pandas. So let's get to it. So first, this is the interface. I need to import my Pandas. So import Pandas as PD. Let's execute it. So right now I need to import my CSV file. So df is equals to pd.read underscore CSV, open brackets, then uber.csv. Then, so now what this does is that I'm importing my file. At the same time, I'm saving it into a variable called df, which is data frame, so I can access it and open it with the data frame, which is my variable. So now let's execute it. So that's it. Now to access it, I have to open my variable. So the beautiful things about this is I've already stored it into my variable, so it gives me the access to open it through my variable. So all I have to do now is to type my df, then let's execute it. So this is it. So now these are the files in Uber. So Uber comprises of all these details. Now these details are what we are going to dissect on. Now, exploring data is about getting in touch with some of the cool functions we can use to checkmate our files, to make our job very easy, to dissect some of the column. So it's more of using some cool function to access our file. So we are going to explore this data with different functions. So now we are going to start with head. Now the head function, what it does is that it shows the top row of the table. Now let's get to it. So now we have df.head. Now remember, in all we have 1,156 rows, and we have 7 columns. Now what this head does is it shows us the top. It shows us the top of the table, the top 5 or the top 6, so we can have access to it and check whatever we want to check. So now let's execute it. That's it. So let's take a look at it. So this is it. This is the top 5. So now it gives you room to checkmate 1 or 2 files from the top. So that's it. So now we have what we call the tail. What the tail does is the opposite. So it shows you the bottom 5 of the table. So now let's do that. df.tail. Okay, so this is it. Let's scroll down. As you can see, so this is the top, this is the bottom 5 of the table. So that's the difference between head and tail. Head shows you the top 5, tail shows you the bottom 5. So this gives you room to checkmate 1 or 2 things you want to do, or some files you feel like, okay, they are in the bottom and you don't want to keep scrolling up and down. So use your head or your tail. Please kindly subscribe, like, and share for more of our videos. Thank you. Now let's move to the next one. We have describe. What describe does, it shows you the summary statistic. And what do I mean by statistic? It shows you your mean, your minimum, your maximum, your STD, some property about the file. So now let's get to it. We have df.describe. Okay. Now let's execute it. So this is it. So now we have our count, which is the number of the count of the journey. We have our mean, which is 21 points. We have our STD, we have our minimum, we have our 25%, and we have our maximum. So these are the statistics of this file. So that's what describe does. It shows you the statistic, the summary statistic of the file. So now let's move to the next one. We have what we call info. What info does, it shows you the data frame of the file. So now to do that, we use df.info. So let's execute it. So info shows you the data frame. Is more like your data type. Shows you the float, the object, the null. So it gives you like a full property of the files. So the kind of data frame it carries, it shows you all you need to know about the data frame. So that's what info does. Now let's move to the next one. Let's talk about how to access unique value in a column. Now, to access unique value in a column, let's move to the top. Right now, I have category, I have end dates, I have start date. So now let's talk about category. I want to access the unique value of this column. Now to do that, let me scroll down. So now let's do that. So we type our df, okay, and then the name of the column, okay, and then we give it unique, and that's it. So now let's open it. So as you can see, the unique value of that column, they are just two, business and personal. But business have been used thousands of times, while personal too have been used like 77 times and so on. But the unique value is just two, which is business and personal. So what this does, it helps you to know the number of your unique value. It helps you to know the unique value of that column. So that's how this works. Now let's talk about assessing the number of unique value in the column. Now to do that, what we have to do is to change hard n into this. That's it. Number of unique value. You have the unique. Now let's execute it. So we have two. We have the business and the personal. So we just have two. So this is how to assess the number of unique value in a column. So thank you. This is how it works. This is how to exploit data in Pandas. Okay, thank you. Please kindly subscribe, like, and share for more videos. Thank you.